Montgomery High School Math Tutoring Club. We're located in Torrance Boulevard, right next to Redondo Beach. Today we're going to talk about 1973 AP Calculus AB Section 1 MCQ. So because it's Section 1, it's without a calculator. So number 1 in the MCQ, number 1 says integral x to the third minus 3x dx. So this is one simple calculation. You just have to do a integral. So if I do the integral, you add 1 at the exponential, so it will become 4. I'm just writing like really in a small case, and after adding 4, the reciprocal of the number will become the coefficient of that number. So it'll be, because I added 4, 1/4 x to the 4th. Again, this is technically 1, so add 1, so 1 plus 1, so this is actually 1, so 1 plus 1 is 2, and then the reciprocal of 2 is 1/2, so 3/2 x to the 2. And the answer for that is, so if I do this, and plus c, never forget plus c, because it has no definite upper and lower limit. So to the 4 and 3x squared over 2 plus c. And answer to this is E. Number 2 says, number 2 is given as f of x is equal to x to the third plus x squared plus 4x plus 5. And function g is given as that is so kind for a college board to do this 5. So the number 2 says, if f of x, which is this, they stated this, and g of x equal to 5, then what is g of f of x? Do not get confused. The question is asking g of f of x. This is really easy. Do not plug this g to the f of x because it's g of f of x. That means you have to plug f of x to g of x. Is there any x's? So no, you don't have anywhere to plug this function to this. So the answer for number 2 is 5, which is E again. So repeating again, it says g of f of x. So in this case, f of x is being the x of g. So normally it was g of x, however this x is now f of x. So you have to plug in f of x in the function of g of x. Is there any x to plug in? Because it's only constant, which is 5, there's no x's or any variables to plug in. So this answer is only 5. Because if it was f of g of x, then you gotta plug 5 in and put it there. Yes, however, because it's g of f of x, you don't have to plug anything because there's no variable in front of or behind the 5. And the scariest thing is, if you plug in 5 there, there's an answer choice for 225 and 1125, so you will get wrong. Number 3 is ask the slope of line tangent to the graph of y equal to, I'll write it down, ln x squared at x is equal to e squared. And here's the trick. It's way better for you to memorize. The problem says slope of the line tangent to. Slope of the line tangent to. You always, when you see that word slope of line tangent to, just think, oh, this is a derivative or derivative. So you have to use derivative. So if you derivative, it will be dy dx equal to, first for ln x, if you differentiate this, what comes out? 1 over x squared. And do not stop here. You have to solve the chain rule. Because x is squared here, the chain rule will times, so ignore ln x squared, only look at the parentheses. If I differentiate this, it will become 2x. So dy dx, if I simplify it, x's cancel out, so it will become 2 over x. And now, so this is the slope. So for example, if I graphed it, it will be something looking like this. So I'll just graph ln x like that. So this is the slope of any point here, any point, because it's dy dx. And now, that is why when you see the words or the phrase slope of tangent and slope of line tangent to, you just need to differentiate the equation. That's it. You just have to memorize that. And then from this, because it says add e to the 2, you just have to plug it in here. And the final answer will be 2 to the e squared. So this is the slope of the line tangent to the graph of this. And add x equal to e to the e squared. And the answer for this is B. This, I'm repeating again, if you see this phrase, slope of tangent line, you have to just think, oh, I have to use differentiation for this, differential equation for this problem. Number 4 says, if f of x equal to, I'll write it down, equal to x plus sine x, x plus sine x, then what is f prime x? So what is f prime x? When you see prime, it is same as y changing to dy dx. In other words, when f changes to f prime x, it means it is changing to function of slope. So then what is this? You just have to again differentiate. So if I differentiate x, it becomes 1 plus, if I differentiate sine x, it becomes cosine x. You just have to memorize that. And the answer to this is A. This is free giving problem. Number 5. Number 5 says if f of the x, I'll write it down again, equal to e to the x, which of the following lines is a asymptote of the graph of x? When you are solving for this problem, you have to think, you should not think in a complex way. Think, I have to solve for asymptote. Then, because this is simple graphing, only e to the x, it's like this. Everyone knows that, right? And you better memorize it if you don't know. And this is equal to 1 because if I plug in 0, it's equal to 1. And so the exponential growth, this e to the fx equal to e to the x, graph will look like this. And as you all know, the horizontal asymptote is equal to 0, y equal to 0. So in other words, this graph will approach 0 as x goes to negative infinity. As x goes to negative infinity, however, it will never touch or arrive at 0. Thus, this doesn't need any calculus skills, however, just like algebraic or pre-calculus skill to solve this problem. Oh, sorry. Thus, the answer for this is A, which is y equal to 0. Finally, number 6. Number 6 says, if f of x equal to x minus 1 over x plus 1, then solve for f prime 1. Again, f prime. which is slope function. So again, I'm repeating, when we're changing y to the slope function, it becomes dy dx. Same as if f is changing to f prime, it becomes a slope function. So to get the slope of this function, you have to differentiate this by using derivative. So as you can see, this is the fraction, so you have to use the quotient rule. So by using quotient rule, the way I memorized was low del high. Low del high, which is low, so first x plus 1 squared, the bottom one is squared, low. Low stays the same, plus 1, yes, del high. Derivative of the high. So this will be just 1 minus low, which is, now low del high, now, and then after doing that, change it as high del low. High, the upper one stays still, x minus 1, del low, derivative of the low. Just 1, I was confused. So, again, it is up to you how you memorize the quotient rule, but for me, it was easier. Low del high, high del low. Low, del high, derivative of the high, and then minus, because it's quotient rule, minus high stays the still, del low. And if I do this, it will become x plus 1 minus x minus 1 over x plus 1 squared, which is equal to, because it's minus, I will distribute minus. So I distributed minus from here, so it becomes minus x, minus times minus, plus 1. And then two x's cancel out because of x minus x, and becomes 2 over x plus 1 squared. Oh, there we go. And it says f, so this function is technically f prime function, and we have to solve for the f prime when x equals to 1. So we just have to plug in 1, so which will be 2 over, when I plug in 1, it will be 2 squared, which, and which is equal to 2 over 4. And when we simplify, it will become 1/2. So the answer for that is D. So for number 6, the answer is D.